come from the central office, assistant principals, and educators who hold a teaching license but are not assigned to one consistent classroom. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:04.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Drafty windows means wasted money. Call Siding Unlimited today for energy-efficient replacement windows and doors and start saving now. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers' rotation is set for the opening series against the White Sox. Jacob Mizorowski will start in Thursday's opener. Chad Patrick will start the second game of the series, and newcomer Brandon Sproat will start the final game of the series. It was only a few days ago Sproat learned from manager Pat Murphy he had made the opening day roster.
So everyone was telling me congratulations about making the team, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then I went and got food just as my day was over. I came around the corner and he was standing by his office. And he was like, hey, me the team. He's like, deal with it. And I was like, sounds good, appreciate it.
Baseball's regular season begins tonight with the Yankees taking on the San Francisco Giants. The NFL announces the regular season will begin Wednesday, September 9th, with the Super Bowl champion Seahawks hosting an opponent to be determined. And the Bucs road trip continues tonight in Portland against the Trailblazers. Our coverage starts at 8:30 right here on WTMJ. We are taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We do have a crash that's on I-94 East on the ramp to Moreland Road. That ramp is currently closed due to the crash. We're also seeing our usual slowdowns on I-94. If you are right near American Family Field, seems to be a little bit worse heading eastbound as opposed to westbound. We have the usual slowdowns on I-43 at the downtown interchange, as well as I-41 up near Mayfair. Other than that, no major incidents. Time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Overnight today, partly cloudy, low of 46. Tomorrow, slight chance of morning showers. Afternoon showers likely, high of 50. Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy and chilly. Slight chance of snow showers, high of 38. Saturday, partly cloudy, high of 47. Sunday, chance of showers late in the day, high of 58 degrees. Right now, in Green Bay, it's 61. In Madison, it's 63. In Waukesha, it's 66. And in Milwaukee, it is 63 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Linton, and Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:07.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. A deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Max.
Welcome to an extra-large edition of What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. We are together until 8:30. That's when our Milwaukee Bucks coverage starts as they face the Portland Trailblazers out west. It is a literary and local culture celebration on What's on Tap to get us in the mood for Milwaukee Brewers opening day. Enjoy the classic baseball poem Casey at the Bat, performed by renowned local actor James Pickering. Looking forward to sharing that with you. Get you updated details on the celebrations and ceremonies planned for tomorrow's home opener, including The athletes throwing out these ceremonial first pitches, the Whammy Award-winning band performing a harmonious national anthem, and a special opening day beer that's going to be on tap at the ballpark this weekend. You're also going to find out about a meaningful and powerful Milwaukee-made documentary called The Sound of a Bucket List. Filmmaker David Kay and the teenager that is the subject of the film, Ella Coonan, they're going to be in the WTMJ studio with me to share the journey of experiencing sounds together and how that's going so far, and find out about creative art-inspired cocktails and mocktails the Mason Street Grill mixologists have created based on many of the beautiful artworks you can find inside the historic Pfister Hotel. We're going to start by wishing you a happy Tolkien Reading Day. It's a day that has very strong Wisconsin connections. Tolkien Reading Day, an annual celebration every March 25th. Fans here and around the world are invited to read and share passages from J.R.R. Tolkien's works. The legacy of The Lord of the Rings and other writings live on because of the fandom, and the Tolkien Society, which is an educational charity and literary society that was founded in 1969. They created the holiday to continue to promote the life and works of J.R.R. Tolkien. And at Marquette University, right in downtown Milwaukee, one of the world's most significant collections of J.R.R. Tolkien manuscripts are there. Over 11,000 pages of original drafts, proofs, and artwork from The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And I'm excited to share with you in a little bit a documentary about a special inclusive historical Tolkien project happening at Marquette University that any Tolkien fan can be part of, and also let you know about next month's performance of the play The Hobbit on stage at Racine Theater Guild. But we're going to start with someone who is right there at Marquette University in the belly of the beast. Joining me live in the WTMJ studio is Jerry Canavan. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me today.
Jerry, you've got some credentials. You're a professor of 20th and 21st century literature and the chair of the English department at Marquette University. Not only that, you have a passion for science fiction and fantasy. You're the managing editor of a journal called Science Fiction, Film, and Television. And you're also involved in other writings. So you really are stimulated by literature.
Absolutely. I was a fan of it when I was a child, and when I wound up going to graduate school, I was going to try to smuggle science fiction into my work, and it wound up being all my work. So I never really got to the canonical literature. I do only the goofier stuff, but it's good.
The more imaginative.
Yeah.
Well, happy Tolkien Reading Day to you, Jerry.
Thank you very much.
And welcome. First, have you read Tolkien pages today?
Only a little, which we might get to around this news about Stephen Colbert and the movie that's been announced. So I've been looking a little bit at the pages that he's going to apparently adapt into a movie.
Oh, so you really have been doing research on the entertainment news.
Yeah.
I have to think that Stephen Colbert and the video that he did with Peter Jackson, that they knew they should release this information on Tolkien Reading Day.
It may have been in their minds, right? I mean, it's part of the promotion for the Hunt for Gollum, but it's made big news. I mean, at least in my little algorithmic feed, I see it every couple minutes. Some new person kind of wrestling with this information.
What is it about this world that J.R.R. Tolkien has created and all of his writings that keep him so vibrant and meaningful and connective now?
There's a lot of things. I mean, it is an amazingly well-developed story world, right? With this incredibly moving story that hits you at different points in your life, right? So you have a certain experience of it as a child, a certain experience of it as you get older, become a parent, right? A different experience of it as you become old, right? And, as Tolkien himself he was quite old to write this book for a typical debut kind of novelist.
How old
right?
was he?
So he was born in 1880s or 1890s, right? So, I mean, he was getting up there, right? He wasn't fresh out of college when he wrote Lord of the Rings, right? He's reflecting on the world in a different way. So I just think it's kind of weirdly natural that people return to it at different points in their lives and see different things in it.
Interesting, because I also see the mythological thread of journeys, and I'm assuming the themes from that. Do you know how the story of the Tolkien manuscripts got to Marquette University?
I do know quite a bit about it. I wish I knew as much as some other people, like my coworker, Bill Fliss, who couldn't be here today. It comes about as a result of a man named William Reedy, who was the director of libraries in the 50s and 60s at Marquette. And when he was hired, he was kind of tasked to build up the collections. And he thought naturally, since we're a Catholic university, he would kind of approach Catholic writers. And so he approached J.R.R. Tolkien quite soon after Lord of the Rings was published, in this gap where it was a kind of successful book, but not the global phenomenon that it would become. That came a little bit later as a result of some kind of interesting copyright violations in the early 60s. So he was approached. He was interested in part because there were elements of the book that he had sort of been induced to cut by his publisher, like the epilogue he wrote, which is part of what Colbert seems to be basing his movie on, as well as some elements of the appendices. And so they made a deal. It was sold for the price of, I believe it's £1,500, which is about $5,000 today, which is a steal because it's essentially priceless. And what Marquette acquired was the physical possession, but not the copyright, to the manuscripts for The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, and Father Giles of Ham. And so over time, I believe they made 2 shipments, the Tolkien family. I believe we actually have more than we bargained for. They were very generous to us. And then alongside the Bodleian Library in England, we are the hub for Tolkien research as a result, because we have these kinds of foundational documents that I'm sure Oxford wishes they could get back from us.
That's exciting. How much time have you spent with these manuscripts?
I've spent a little bit of time. I'm planning on writing a book on Tolkien over the next couple of years, so I'll be spending quite a bit more time with them. Even I can't see the real papers because they are very valuable and they've almost all been digitized. And so most people do research on them based on kind of digital scans. The originals really need to be protected.
I would say to protect them,
right.
Like when you turn pages with tweezers and white gloves. And, because and what do they look like?
Well, I mean, they oftentimes look like paper, right? I mean, he's
and have to be handwritten.
You can kind of see him. He's writing on the back of student exams, right? There's a really prominent page that's on the back of he was an air warden during the war, and so on the back of one of his check sheets for where he's doing his nightly rounds, he's writing on that, right? So paper was scarce, and so he's writing on what he can write on. His handwriting is, I think, could be described as inscrutable. So there's a little bit of translation and muscle mass that has to come to kind of learn it, right? But you can kind of see his like physical corrections over multiple, sometimes it's a pen and then a pencil, right? And different kinds of crossouts. Bill's got a really beautiful page that we're all pretty sure has a tear on it because Tolkien was so moved by his own writing. It's the scene where the hobbits are kind of lauded by the people of Gondor at the end, right? The you bow to no one kind of moment in the movie. It is a very moving scene. But you know.
That's fascinating, though, that it would be preserved in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the stain, right? You can see where the ink is splotched. He was an artist. He drew the maps, right? And so we don't have the art, but we have the art that's on manuscript pages. And so you can see his doodles. And so, like, he's on vacation with his kids and he's drawing one of the towers and things like that. So it's a truly miraculous thing. And in particular, to be able to see, kind of false starts or different paths, right? There's like an alternate ending of The Hobbit that we like to show the students where, Bilbo slayed the dragon instead of somebody else.
Blow your mind, yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see how he kind of constructed it, what stayed stable from his initial vision and what he was willing to change.
That is fascinating to have a window to that process because we can't talk to him now and he didn't get documented like that and interviewed. So you really have the witness of his process, the actual evidence of that. That's fascinating. The manuscripts of J.R.R. Tolkien proudly in a collection at Marquette University. And my guest is Marquette University professor of 20th and 21st century literature and the chair of the English department, Jerry Canavan. And you have even more to share because not only are we talking about films, but you and the manuscript archivist, Bill Fliss, have a new project to keep Tolkien fans entertained, and we'll talk about that fanzine project next on What's on Tap.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
It's about time. Friday is going to be a fun day. You can be there with a BOGO ticket offer for Thanalysis Live, one of the biggest nights in Wisconsin sports. We don't want anybody to miss out. You buy one ticket, guess what? ESPN Wisconsin, buy the other. You got a special promo code and everything. And this is going to be a night that will have everybody talking. Thanalysis Live on Friday, completely unpredictable show. The one thing we do know is that Thanasis Antetokounmpo has for his guest the nature boy, Ric Flair. That's for sure. So you already know it's going to be a lively conversation, but there will be surprise guests. I can't tell you because it's got to be a surprise, but I actually don't know. But I have heard some buzz around the office, and so I know that there are big plans, and there will be some impressive people on the stage with Thanasis and Ric Flair, and you can be there. Thanalysis Live is a can't-miss experience. TALiveshow.com is where you get tickets. The code to enter, ESPNWI BOGO. That's ESPNWI BOGO when you check out. So you get the 2-for-1. Stars will be out. You should be there too. Buy one, get one for Thanalysis Live Friday at the Riverside Theater. TALiveshow.com.
It's springtime, and instead of getting outside and having fun, you have to paint the deck, repair the boards, and discover more rotten wood on your deck. Call Outdoor Living Unlimited to replace the old beaten-down wood deck with a beautiful new composite deck with new railing. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Max on WTMJ.
Happy Tolkien Reading Day to those of you who celebrate, Lord of the Rings fans and Hobbit fans. Marquette University is the home to thousands of manuscripts written and drafted by fantastical author J.R.R. Tolkien. And to share even more about it from Marquette University is Jerry Canavan from the English department. You're the chair of the English department. Sounds like a lot of responsibility.
Oh, it's heavy. Heavy as the head that wears the crown.
And a lot of knowledge, though. So talking about Tolkien, do you teach a Tolkien course every semester?
It's not every semester. It's every other year. So I teach it once every 4 semesters, essentially, almost always in the fall. So next fall is the next time I'm doing it, this upcoming fall. So I'm kind of getting hyped and getting ready.
Yeah, I would expect it would be a coveted class.
It's been really fun. There's definitely students who are coming in as newbies or who liked the movies a little bit when they were kids. And then every so often, midway through the semester, somebody kind of reveals their Tolkien tattoo. Or I had a student bring in a replica of Narsil, Aragorn's sword, to campus, which was very fun and made the police department absolutely freaked out.
I can understand that. That is a dangerous looking prop.
Yeah, so they said, okay, so you need to bring it in and disguise it, but don't look like you're disguising a weapon, and bring it to us immediately, and we will hold it, and we will bring it to your class, and we will take it back, and you can have it back at the end of the day. They just did not want Aragorn's giant sword walking around campus.
So you talk about the films that attract people. We had entertainment news today that you were very excited. I loved it. And I do watch Late Night with Stephen Colbert, so I knew that he was a really in-depth fan. But share with all of the Tolkien fans the news that was revealed today.
Yeah, so in a promo video with Peter Jackson, it was revealed that Stephen Colbert and his son are working on what amounts to a sequel to Lord of the Rings, based on chapters that were never made it into the movie. So there's a kind of series of adventures the hobbits have on their way out of Hobbiton that were cut for the films, and Colbert seems to intend to kind of reinsert them into the movie. It looks like it'll use a dual action where we have the older hobbits kind of telling their story and retracing their steps, and then some glimpses of the de-aged actors playing their younger selves as well.
And it is interesting to see that Peter Jackson, who has been responsible for bringing all these fantasy worlds to life in this century, is on board.
Yeah,
they did the promo video. Like, oh, okay.
It seems like he can't leave Middle Earth behind. It's a kind of every so often he kind of pops his head back in.
But there's been another film that's already been in the work with the actor who played Gollum, and that is The Hunt for Gollum, directed and starring Andy Serkis. And that should be out not this December, but Christmas of 2027.
I think that's right. So this is the first of this cycle of new Lord of the Rings productions. It is based almost on half a page of the original manuscript.
But they're stretching it out then.
Yeah, so it's going to tell the story of elves and men hunting Gollum down in the gap between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. So you'll have a little bit of Andy Serkis playing Gollum again, as well as a kind of apparently a vision of Aragorn and Legolas and some of your favorites kind of doing this.
And so Tolkien's literature just keeps living on and inspiring other creators to keep creating and to flesh out every single word and story that he has shared.
It'll be interesting because the Christopher Tolkien, who was the shepherd of the estate, really opposed projects like this. He described Tolkien as having become a monster who could not be controlled. And so since this estate has kind of moved into new hands, there's a kind of new attitude towards some of these things. So we're all, as Tolkien devotees, we're all kind of crossing our fingers and hoping it's high quality material that comes out.
I would at least think that Stephen Colbert and Peter Jackson, they come from that aspect of
there is a lot of
reverence,
trust in
love.
Stephen Colbert, who, and not just on The Late Show, but on site, was a kind of Tolkien expert who could out trivia the best of them. I would never go up against Stephen Colbert in a trivia contest.
That's saying something right there. He is Marquette University Chair of the English Department and Professor of 20th and 21st Century Literature, Jerry Canavan. And we're going to come back. We will talk about the fanzine and another very special oral history project that is happening at Marquette University. Stay with us on Happy Tolkien Reading Day on What's on Tap.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Join the Brewers series against the White Sox March 26th, 28th, and 29th. Grab this year's first giveaway on Saturday the 28th, a replica of American Family Field for the first 25,000 fans, courtesy of American Family Insurance. On the 29th, it's Kids Cheer Free. Buy an adult terrace seat and receive a free ticket for kids ages 14 and under. On Sunday the 29th, the first 5,000 kids get a drip necklace giveaway. Grab your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life, rejuvenate.
So it's all too common of a story, and it's common enough that we account for a certain percentage of our new patients to make their first appointment and get cold feet. They put it off. I'm not sure why, because our physicians are offering legitimate medical pain relief treatment. The combination of hyaluronic acid and Toradol cushions joints and has an extremely powerful effect in reducing inflammation. So much so that a vast majority of Rejuvenex patients report a significant improvement with their pain. I guess it's human nature, but sometimes human nature keeps us in our comfort zone, even when it means remaining living in pain. So after you make your appointment to alleviate your pain, and that little voice tries to convince you to put it off, don't, because your pain problems can be solved, and you can live a better life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we could be seeing you tomorrow.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. If you're trying to work, juggle life, and keep your dog happy at the same time, look, I get it. We're the same way. Thankfully, we found the Hounds and Tap for doggy daycare for our Greyhound Knight. It's been a game changer for us. He gets exercise, time to socialize with other dogs. We know Knight's in great hands at the Hounds and Tap. They even take care of his grooming during his visits or separate appointments. That's perfect for us. If you're like us and searching for top-tier services and a team you can trust, get connected at thehoundsandtap.com.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
Leaning all the way into that Lord of the Rings vibe today, because circle your calendar if you missed it this year. March 25th is Tolkien Reading Day. So to celebrate, I'm always enthusiastically inviting Marquette University people who know all about it. In the past, Bill Fliss, who is the manuscript archivist for all of the J.R.R. Tolkien manuscripts, 11,000 pages at Marquette University. Wasn't able to join us tonight, but another friend of ours from Marquette University, the chair of the English department, Jerry Canavan, is here. And Jerry, tell us about your latest fun Tolkien project that you've partnered with Bill Fliss on.
Yes, so we've been having a lot of fun looking at a different part of the Tolkien collection. In addition to his manuscripts, we have criticism on Tolkien. There's a collection of Tolkien games, and we've got a collection of Tolkien fanzines that were kind of made by people who were incredible fans of Tolkien in the 60s and 70s, circulating these different little magazines to each other. It was kind of Reddit before Reddit. A bunch of them were indexed prior. They were all donated by a man named Gary Honeywell. And so as part of his research, it's kind of his legacy. But they weren't indexed past a certain point. So with some research funding from the Switek family, we are researching from the 60s to around the 1977 when the Silmarillion came out. Some of them go a little bit past because of the way the collections are organized, but it's people trying to figure out what's going to be in the Silmarillion, making weird jokes to one another, talking about the war, right? What it's like to be a college student, right? Or a scholar in this time. It's been fascinating. So we're just essentially trying to make a map of what's in there so that scholars who come to Marquette can see what people were talking about.
And like you said, a real slice of pop culture through the Tolkien lens, because to me, when you say fanzine, I immediately think of photocopiers and hand-drawn art and typewriters.
It's mimeograph machines, right? I mean, it's a really fascinating document, right? And so we've got everything. We've got the envelopes they came in, right? We've got these kind of typewritten, sometimes hand-drawn things, right? Like people sharing this kind of odd love of Tolkien with each other. So we see everything in it. Fascinating glimpses into other authors and other fandom. They're talking about Led Zeppelin, right? They're talking about how they don't like the cartoon, right? It's everything there, yeah.
That is a wonderful way to preserve yet another aspect of Tolkien literature and lore and fandom, aside from his manuscripts and aside from the other project that Bill Fliss has been part of, capturing oral histories, which we'll get into that after the news. But thank you so much, Jerry Canavan. Sorry, I keep saying Carnarvon, like Highclere Castle. Jerry Canavan, delightful to have you here, chair of the English department at Marquette University and professor of 20th and 21st century literature, and a wealth of knowledge beyond Tolkien. So next time I have you, and we'll talk about Dune and other things in the science fiction world. But thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your happy Tolkien reading day.
Thanks for having me.
And now we go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Elizabeth Linton.
Thanks, Sandy. A Madison High School teacher is on leave after a police investigation into a possible student relationship. The teacher works at Vel Phillips Memorial High School in Madison. District leaders became aware of the alleged relationship last Friday. Superintendent Dr. Joe Gothard says the district has a zero tolerance for behavior that puts students at risk and is offering support to anyone impacted. No charges have yet been filed. Decision Wisconsin, tonight's scheduled debate between state Supreme Court candidates Judge Muriel Azar and Judge Chris Taylor is being postponed. Representatives for Judge Taylor say she's been diagnosed with kidney stones. The debate will now happen on April 2nd. Early voting for the spring race has already started ahead of Election Day on April 7th. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We are still seeing those delays at I-94 right near American Family Field. Other than that, though, no major incidents, no major delays. Your WTMJ forecast. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, low of 46. Tomorrow, slight chance of morning showers. Afternoon showers likely, high of 50. Right now in Green Bay, it's 61. Waukesha, 66. And in Milwaukee, it is 63 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Linton in Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:32.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often, because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Since 1956, the Adair name has stood for craftsmanship, honesty, and taking care of people the right way. I'm Austin Adair.
And I'm Chelsea.
My grandparents started this company with nothing but hard work and pride in every single job. My parents carried that legacy forward, and today, my wife and I are proud to continue it as third generation of Adair Floors and Remodeling. This isn't just a business to us. It is our family name, our reputation, and our promise to you. At Adair Floors and Remodeling, we help homeowners upgrade with confidence. Whether you need luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, carpet, tile, or a full remodel, our team handles everything from design to installation, quality products, professional crews, clear communication, and results you'll love. That's what 3 generations have built and what we stand behind every single day. Visit Adair Floors and Remodeling today at our large showroom located in Franklin, or give us a call at 414-761-3660 for a free estimate. Adair Floors and Remodeling. 3 generations, 1 standard.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it, you're gonna love it all. When you shop at St. Vincent de Paul, old things, new things here for you. We're always changing, we're always new. So many friendly people, smiles from wall to wall. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max is back on WTMJ.
Welcome back to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world-class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. Milwaukee, the site of 11,000 parts of Tolkien literature, manuscripts. And we spent the first half hour of What's on Tap visiting with Marquette University Chair of the English Department, Jerry Canavan, discussing the impact of author J.R.R. Tolkien on fans around the world, because today is Tolkien Reading Day. And when you have a holiday like that and you have a wealth of manuscripts, one of the best collections in the world, you celebrate. And those manuscripts at Marquette, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Farmer Giles of Ham, and Mr. Bliss. So an outstanding research collection about the professor and his works. And a man named Bill Fliss is the Marquette University Tolkien archivist. And his mission is to document the fandom surrounding J.R.R. Tolkien in addition to making sure all of those manuscripts are preserved. And a new 10-minute documentary about Bill Fliss's oral history project came out 6 months ago. It's called The Muster at Marquette, and you can watch it for free on YouTube right now. And when the documentary debuted 6 months ago, Bill Fliss and the documentary filmmaker, who's also a big Tolkien fan, Andrew Coons, joined me on What's on Tap. And this is a highlight of that chat with Bill and Andrew, explaining the process and the discoveries of just how much Tolkien's literature has meant to people. We start with filmmaker Andrew Coons.
At Marquette University, they have an extensive collection of J.R.R. Tolkien manuscripts. And with that, Bill is also putting together a large collection of these oral histories, 3-minute recordings from fans of Tolkien around the world, and categorizing those and cataloging them. And so where I came in is once I found out about this project, I have a deep love of the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. And so I immediately, as a documentary filmmaker, my brain started spinning of, well, how can this be a film? How can we tell this story in a different way? And so we're really excited that the film kind of talks through the history of the project that Bill is working on, as well as give some samples of what different people have said in some of those recordings so people can kind of hear what one of these oral histories might actually sound like.
And now, Bill, tell us about how you conduct these oral history interviews.
Well, I can collect them in person if people are local here, or if I'm traveling at an event, I can collect them face-to-face, or I collect them on Zoom, and then I extract the audio and use that for the on-site digital collection where we keep the different interviews. So there's a couple different ways to collect the interviews, and as Andrew mentioned, they're short interviews. Each fan is allowed only up to 3 minutes to share their thoughts about Tolkien. And I did this for a couple reasons. One is because I wanted to do a lot of interviews. I set my goal at 6,000 interviews. And
6,000 interviews?
Yeah, but there's a reason for that, because that was the number of riders of Rohan that King Theoden led to raise the siege of Minas Tirith in The Return of the King in The Lord of the Rings. And so I wanted to have this host of fans, one fan for each rider of Rohan. The other reason I kept to 3 minutes was because it really forces people to distill down to what the essence of their interest in Tolkien is. Because one thing about Tolkien fans is they can talk for hours about him and his works.
Well, anything that you truly love, sure, because, I mean, Andrew Coons, I could hear the excitement and enthusiasm in your voice when you said, my wife got us tickets and we went to see the manuscripts. Like, these stories really still resonate with people.
They do indeed, yeah. They resonate with a lot of people and a lot of different kinds of people. It's remarkable how diverse the fandom is. There's no single profile of the Tolkien fan.
The Muster at Marquette. Andrew, what exactly does that title mean?
Yeah, a muster is a large group, right? And in this particular context, when we think about The Lord of the Rings, we think about the horse riders of Rohan. A muster of them was a large military group of them. So we're kind of evoking that with this title and saying that by joining the oral history, being part of one of these 6,000 oral histories, you are joining a muster of Tolkien fans that is now residing at Marquette University.
And you are one of those fans for sure, aren't you, Andrew?
I am, and I was actually very pleased to record my oral history with Bill before I even broached the topic of the documentary. And so going through that process was really fun. And like he said, distilling it down to, I've been a Tolkien fan most of my life. How do you talk about that in 3 minutes? But it was a lot of fun to do and a real joy to help make the documentary.
And what's one of the themes of your interview, Andrew?
Just the way that encountering Tolkien really changed my life. I'm a filmmaker today because of The Lord of the Rings, both the books and the movies. It just excited my imagination at a young age and set me down a path of storytelling. So I think I hold a lot of gratitude that these works exist and have become a source of inspiration in my own life.
And Andrew, now that you know these are 3-minute oral histories, how difficult was it for you to make a 10-minute short documentary about something you're so passionate about, not just Tolkien's literature, but this wonderful oral history collection?
That was probably the most challenging aspect of the entire project. So in the tradition of the Lord of the Rings films, maybe there'll be an extended edition someday. We'll see.
Known for the long version. Why not? That is Andrew Coons, filmmaker of The Muster at Marquette. All about the oral history project being conducted right now by Bill Fliss. And you can see the 10-minute version for free on YouTube right now. Get your Tolkien fix and get inspired to be part of the oral history. There's still a lot of room before hitting that 6,000 person goal for the oral histories. And you can schedule your time in person with Marquette University's Bill Fliss. You can go to marquette.edu, but honestly, I think you'll find it best by just doing a search for like Tolkien oral history Marquette and Bill Fliss, and you'll find it. And this podcast will be posted later tonight, too, to share with your fellow Hobbit fans. To remind you of Bill Fliss's name, I highly encourage you to participate. Take 3 minutes to share your Tolkien love. And the Hobbit story will be performed on stage next month at Racine Theater Guild by passionate fans of Tolkien. Jocelyn Fish of Racine Theater Guild shares behind-the-scenes preparations and how much Tolkien's literature means to their community. Find out when you can see this play, what to expect on stage. Will there be big feet? Find out next on What's on Tap.
Hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, cold plunge. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Sale is happening at the Realtors Home and Garden Show inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. For a limited time, you can save thousands with factory direct pricing and special show discounts. Shop floor models, brand new inventory, and exclusive show-only deals you won't find anywhere else. Don't miss the Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Sale, March 20th through the 29th, only at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Come see it, try it, and save big at the show.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired Days start in Inspired Closets, inspiredclosetsmilwaukee.com.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does. Because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
We know for small business advertisers, every dollar counts. And that's why you hear our advertisers over and over on this station, as well as every other Milwaukee radio station. Because the power of repetition is real. Go to the Our Clients page of Anderson-Smith.com and see just how many you're familiar with. And check out their real advertising success stories. You'll learn why our clients stay with us for years and years. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. We know you work hard to make your small business the best it can be. And we understand you deserve to have your advertising work as hard as you do. That's why we focus on only the most efficient ways to assure your ad message makes the most impact it possibly can. With millions of dollars in annual billing and dozens of satisfied clients, Anderson Smith has the leverage and know-how to amplify your advertising. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you in short order because it's time we grow your business.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Max on WTMJ.
Oh, Lord of the Rings fans. Your heart probably swells hearing that music. Jocelyn Fish from Racine Theater Guild is in the studio with me. Does it make your heart happy?
It does. You know, I was not a Lord of the Rings. That was not my level of nerddom growing up. And I've come to enjoy it so much, especially learning more about The Hobbit, which we're about to talk about. And I just know so many people have such a big space for it in their heart. And I'm just so glad that we get to bring a little bit of that to the Theater Guild.
So tell us about the production of The Hobbit that is happening April 10th through April 19th at the Racine Theater Guild.
Yes, so this is based off of the J.R.R. Tolkien book, of course. It's adapted by Patricia Gray. Bilbo Baggins is a very reluctant traveler, but Gandalf shows up at his door and says, "You're going on this journey," and kind of gets coerced and roped into going on this journey with the dwarves to seek treasure. And they run into goblins and they run into elves, and the weather's awful and there's not enough food, and he's not having a good time at all. And yet he keeps coming through to save the day in different ways. He kind of learns that he has all of these skills he never would have thought of to help this mission. And of course we meet Gollum. We have Smaug. We're building a Smaug puppet right now. So there are 25 people in this cast that is putting this production together.
And I bet they're all Lord of the Rings fans.
It was incredible to watch auditions. I got to be there for both nights, and I don't think some of these people have ever auditioned for theater before, and it's just because they love the show so much. And so it was just great to see everyone just have such fun with it because they have such a connection to the story itself. And so Parker Munoz, who is the drama teacher at Gilmore Fine Arts in Racine, is directing this as well. And it's his first directing gig with us. He grew up at the Theater Guild. He went to UW Milwaukee. So it's been great to see him to kind of wrangle all these 25 cast members into sword fighting and getting the costumes together and working with the props designers and the set designer. I saw the Hobbit door today. It's wonderful. It's just great.
What do you love about the Hobbit door that you've seen?
Oh, it looks exactly like what you want the Hobbit door to look like. It's perfectly round. It's green. It's got the gold knob right in the center. So I think people are really gonna, if they love the Hobbit, they're gonna have such a fun time at the show.
And to know that all 25 volunteers that are acting on stage that will be the puppet of Smog and that are creating this world, there must be great pride in the set designers and the set constructors.
Oh, yes.
To do their best to make Middle Earth and Bilbo's house.
Yes, come to life. And it, I was rereading the script today, and it's like, oh, there's a lot of food also mentioned in this, which is always a props designers. It's like, how much of that is real food? Who's eating it? What do we need to prepare? And there's very specific about what color cloaks each of the dwarves wear and what color beard they have and all of this. So yeah, the volunteers behind the scenes are really cranking it away to get us ready for the show.
And what about Bilbo Baggins' big feet?
Bilbo Baggins' big feet. I do know that we ordered some, so hopefully they've come. We'll see what they look like. And it's been great to hear how excited people are about this show, because again, they have such love for the story, and it's been a generational thing that people have passed down. And so I think that will be really cool to see, like, multi-generations in the audience too.
Jocelyn Fish of Racine Theater Guild. You can see The Hobbit April 10th through April 19th. And Jocelyn, what's the best way to keep up with all of the entertaining events at Racine Theater Guild?
Go to our website, racinetheater.org. You can call our box office. We are there Monday through Friday, 12 to 6 p.m., 262-633-4218.
I feel like if you're into gift giving on today's holiday of Tolkien Reading Day, tickets to see The Hobbit could be a perfect present. Led Zeppelin and Lord of the Rings. What's the connection? Lead singer and lyricist Robert Plant, big fan of the worlds that J.R.R. Tolkien created. The rest of the band wasn't as into Tolkien literature as he was, but he worked in some Tolkien-inspired lyrics into a few Led Zeppelin songs. Mordor and Gollum get a shout-out in the song you need to hear. Next on What's on Tap.
At Associated Bank, we thought about speaking like other banks with hoity-toity names like Total Privilege Pay or something. But we don't speak bankish, we speak your language. When we say 2-day early pay, we mean you get paid 2 days early. $50 overdraft grace zone? That's a grace zone of up to $50 if overdrafts happen. And maintenance fee free account? Well, that speaks for itself. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Shag carpet, avocado appliances, no frills backyards. A lot has changed. For 100 years, the Realtors Home and Garden Show, presented by Unilock, has showcased what's next, helping homeowners and gardeners rethink the way they live, indoors and out. This year's 100th annual show is packed with ideas for today, from smart homes to outdoor living spaces. Join us March 20th through 29th at State Fair Park. Buy tickets at mkehgs.com.
Hi, it's David Nason from The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Every Saturday morning, we talk about keeping your home in top shape. One issue I hear all the time, wet basements and foundation problems.
And that's where Accurate Basement Repair comes in. I'm Chris Mancuso, and for over 20 years, we've been The Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing.
Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Visit AccurateBasementRepair.com.
Accurate Basement Repair.
We're not just good, we're accurate. Catch Accurate Basement Repair on The Fix-It Show and WTMJ.com.
How are things at Kessler's Greenfield, Kelly?
Fantastic. I heard you have an idea for springtime.
I love spring.
I have a big collection of New Life to show you.
New Life is a spring thing.
Show us. I call it Crosses and Clovers.
These are amazing.
Well done, Kelly.
These are stunningly unique.
Kelly, the surface of this 4-leaf clover is fantastic. What's it made of?
Sarah, the surface of that lucky 4-leaf clover is made of crushed black diamonds.
Wow. I'm buying this one. How much?
$185. In yellow gold vermeil, it's just $270.
This cross?
$90.
And these initials pendants?
These are $60.
Clovers, crosses, and personalized pendants.
And a leprechaun that says they're magically delicious.
Sarah, that's a breakfast cereal.
Kelly, you've done well.
Extremely well.
Extremely very well. Happy springtime, everyone.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, we're talking turkey with the Wisconsin DNR warden. How about some Great Lakes fishing? It's that time of year. How about those charters? And Wisconsin Waterfowl Association. WTMJ Outdoors, it's for the birds.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited. You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Max on WTMJ. And now, feast your ears. This is the song you need to hear.
Most blokes going to be playing at 10. These go to 11.
Happy Tolkien Reading Day. And today's song you need to hear gets us right into the heart of Middle Earth. Rockers who read include Led Zeppelin, singer-songwriter and epic frontman Robert Plant. Led Zeppelin's song Ramble On. You got the folk, you got the rock, and you got a trip through Tolkien's fantasy worlds. A mention of Mordor, the dark power of the One Ring, and Gollum creeping in the shadows. It's myth, music, adventure, all in one big musical landscape. Turn up Ramble On by Led Zeppelin on Tolkien Reading Day. It's the song you need to hear on What's on Tap.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Discover your new favorite city, Milwaukee. Catch a sunrise over Lake Michigan. Sip your way through craft breweries and dive into a dining scene that's turning heads. From museums and music to thrilling sports teams and buzzing nightlife, Milwaukee delivers all season long. Good things are always brewing on the Fresh Coast. The expert guides at visitmilwaukee.com MilwaukeeCountry.org have everything you need to fully plan every detail, whatever it is you'd like to do in Milwaukee. Plan your trip today at visitmilwaukee.org.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
This pain right here won't go away.
I just felt okay. It's something I'm gonna have to live with.
I just lived with it.
So I suffered with it for several years.
I felt like it was getting worse and worse.
I'm 46 years of age, so I did not want to get a knee replacement. And I was like, something has to be done.
You don't want to have knee surgery if you don't have to.
Once I found Rejuvenex, I feel 100% better.
It eliminated the pain.
All of a sudden I went, oh wow. I started feeling pretty good.
So now I'm back. I can walk.
I'm excited for myself. I can't wait to continue.
I can stand longer. I can walk longer.
I can run a little bit. I should say jog.
The pain just went away. It's just wonderful.
It's a life changer. I definitely would recommend it.
Go to rejuvenex.com to schedule your appointment.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-551-7672. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-551-7672. That's 800-551-7672. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
You can't beat Berghardt.
Sports lovers love us. The road trip continues.
It sucks till we're stuck on a road.
Hit it from the elbow, rebounded by Ryan Rollins. Rollins drives right past Barnes, soars to the rim on the other side, punches it through, and then headbutts the backstop.
The Bucks hit the trail to Portland to take on the Blazers. Our Bucks radio network game day coverage starts tonight at 8:30 on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
7 o'clock, it's 61 degrees here in Milwaukee. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, low of 46. Tomorrow morning, showers, afternoon showers likely, high of 50. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Elizabeth Lintonen. Recession fears are growing as Operation Epic Fury drags on. Eric McLaughlin, senior economist with the Conference Board, tells News Nation that a recession isn't likely if the war ends relatively soon.
To be in a recession, you have to have GDP, which is how we measure economic growth, be in decline for 2 consecutive quarters usually. So it's not just a few months.
The stock market and oil prices have been extremely volatile as news comes in regarding the war. Efforts to end the partial government shutdown have stalled, with lawmakers still divided over funding for the Department of Homeland Security. A Senate vote to advance a funding measure fell short of the 60 votes needed, signaling a return to a stalemate after earlier optimism this week. CBS News' Taureen Small.
The problem happened when Democrats saw the language of this bill, because there are 2 major operational components to ICE. That's the Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, and Enforcement Removal Operations, ERO. HSI would be funded in this proposal that Republicans offer to Democrats. Democrats say absolutely not. We're not sending one more penny to ICE until reforms are met.
The last time TSA agents saw a paycheck was February 13th. A former Milwaukee police officer gets prison time for helping a street gang.
Jawan Madlock will serve 5 years in federal prison for using confidential police information to help a violent local gang target its rivals. Madlock worked in District 6 when prosecutors say he sold ammunition to a felon, helped the gang hide its stolen vehicles, and provided the gang with the addresses of its rivals. Court documents showed he also sent pictures of his fellow officers to a gang member and showed criminals how to flee from law enforcement. Madlock pled guilty to the charges in December. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee County is seeking redevelopment proposals for one of its downtown buildings.
The property on West Highland Avenue was originally built in 1931, and it was converted to facilitate county operations in 1989. The medical examiner's office currently operates in the space, but the ME is moving to a new office in Wauwatosa later this year, so a new vision is needed for the downtown property. County officials say proposals that include higher density residential housing or affordable housing will receive prioritized consideration. A pre-proposal site walkthrough will take place next month. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Lake Country School District could be on the path to shutting down without voter support this April.
The district says it's facing financial challenges tied to declining enrollment, limited state funding, and past staffing decisions. Officials say they've already cut more than $1.6 million from the budget, including staff positions and programs. A $3.2 million referendum on the April ballot would raise $800,000 annually for 4 years. They said that the funding would help keep schools operating and buy time to explore long-term solutions. If it fails, the district could face a possible dissolution by 2027. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 7:03.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news, a rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS caused by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $152,000 in taxes because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a clear plan and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it, we help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait, call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
3 generations ago, it was about doing one thing and doing it right.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, floors that had to last because our name, Adair, was on them. Over time, homeowners asked us to do more. Kitchens, bathrooms, full remodels. And so our name changed to Adair Floors and Remodeling.
But flooring has always been the foundation, literally.
And it's something the next generation already understands.
Hi, I'm Ava. Hi, I'm Quinn. My dad does floors.
From hardwood and luxury vinyl plank to tile and carpet, we handle selection, layout, and professional installation.
And because we also remodel homes, we know how flooring works with everything else. Transitions, finishes, and long-term durability.
When you hire Adair, you're getting experience you can stand on and people who will be here for decades to come.
Call my dad. Bye-bye.
Adair Floors and Remodeling. Built on flooring, trusted for remodels. 3 generations, 1 standard. Call us at 414-761-3660 for your free flooring estimate.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers' rotation is set for the opening series against the White Sox. Jacob Mizorowski will start in Thursday's opener. Chad Patrick will start the second game of the series, and newcomer Brandon Sproat will start the final game of the series. It was only a few days ago Sproat learned from manager Pat Murphy he had made the opening day roster.
So everyone was telling me congratulations about making the team, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then I went and got food just as my day was over. I came around the corner and he was standing by his office. And he was like, hey, me the team. He's like, deal with it. And I was like, sounds good, appreciate it.
Baseball's regular season begins tonight with the Yankees taking on the San Francisco Giants. The NFL announces the regular season will begin Wednesday, September 9th, with the Super Bowl champion Seahawks hosting an opponent that is to be determined. And the Bucs road trip continues tonight in Portland against the Trailblazers. Our coverage starts at 8:30 right here on WTMJ. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. At the moment, we are still seeing those minor delays on I-94 right near American Family Field if you're heading westbound. Other than that, no major incidents, no major delays. Time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, low of 46. Tomorrow, a slight chance of morning showers. Afternoon showers likely, a high of 50. Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy and chilly, a slight chance of snow, high of 38. Saturday, partly cloudy, high of 47. Sunday, slight chance of showers later in the day, high of 58 degrees. Right now in Green Bay, it's 56. In Madison, it's 60. In Waukesha, it's 63. And in Milwaukee, it is 61 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Lintonen. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 7:07.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee, a deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Max.
We're together till 8:30 on this extra-large episode of What's on Tap, and Milwaukee Bucks coverage starts at 8:30 when they face the Portland Trail Blazers out west, and I will be glad to get you in the mood at 8 o'clock for Milwaukee Brewers opening day. Enjoy the classic baseball poem Casey at the Bat, performed by James Pickering, one of our renowned local actors here, and I'll also get you updated details on things that are happening at the home opener tomorrow, including ceremonial first pitches, who's throwing them out, the Whammy Award-winning band, who's going to perform a very harmonious national anthem, and there is a special opening day beer that's going to be on tap at the ballpark this weekend. And also, in about half an hour, you're going to find out about one of the coolest presentations of art through beverages, the creative art-inspired cocktails and mocktails that the Mason Street Grill mixologists have created based on over a dozen artworks you can find inside the historic Pfister Hotel. So I'm very excited to share that with you. But this next conversation, I'm equally excited about, and I think you're going to feel it. Last March, a Wisconsin teenager, she got hearing aids for the first time. She got them and went, "Oh, hey, hold on." She sent a text to a friend. "Did you know wind makes sound?" So it really made a difference. That teenager is Ella Coonan, and her story is now the subject of a documentary being made called The Sound of a Bucket List. Ella is here with local filmmaker David Kay. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. And I'd like to share this film preview with everyone.
I have just found out that I have the genetic disease that causes me to lose all of my hearing. I wanted to make a bucket list of sounds that I wanted to experience for the first and likely the last time. Loss does not mean the end, and there's going to be a hole in your heart, but it doesn't mean that you're not able to fill it with something beautiful.
That is just a moment from the upcoming film, The Sound of a Bucket List. And Ella, that's you on camera there. You have a very unique story. Why do you want to share this physical and emotional journey?
Well, I think honestly, everyone goes through some level of grief in their life, no matter what it is, whether it's losing a loved one, losing an experience, losing a sense or a limb or something of some variety that permanently changes the way they see and interpret and feel the world around them. I want to be able to help people grow from their own grief the way that I'm growing from mine, and show people that there's beauty in every pain, even if it doesn't necessarily feel like it right away.
Ella, that's an incredibly mature approach. Did it take you a while to get to that realization to share your story, or has this just always been kind of how you're wired and how you felt about it when you found out you're going to lose your hearing?
I think I've kind of always been a very, not necessarily positive person, but I'm very optimistic and I like to make the best out of situations. I think that regardless of what was happening, I'm going to go through this. I might as well make something beautiful out of it and help other people along the way.
And did you approach David Kay to make the film, or how did that come about?
Well, I created the bucket list, and as a sort of way to grieve with the certain circumstances that were going on and all of these really difficult feelings, and then presented it to David as a, here, look at this cool thing I'm doing. And then it kind of just came together.
Yeah, I've known Ella since she was born. Her mother's one of my best friends. I'm actually the person she sent that text to. Did you know wind makes sound? And when she came to me with this bucket list, I cried, of course. I've cried a lot during this. And I realized that not only was it a story worth telling, but also if you go to people and say you're making a movie, you can make these experiences happen a lot easier. And so I pitched it to her mother first because Ella was 17 at the time, and then talked to Ella. And on July 31st of last year, she said, okay, the first sound experience was on September 21st. And the last of those 16 sounds she heard on January 10th of this year. She's heard every single item on the list.
That's about 6 months of sound experiences.
It definitely felt shorter than it was. We had a very interesting schedule because we kind of had to go off of when experiences were available. So it meant a lot of weeks where we would drive hundreds of miles in a week and hit 2 or 3 sounds in that 1 week in the course of 2 or 3 days. And then there would be periods of like almost a month of nothing and then getting back into it. And it kind of varied in a schedule, but it really went by fast. And it was a lot of everything happening at once and yet still being allowed to have some time to feel my feelings and have time off camera and still be a normal teenager.
And what are the 16 sounds, or at least some of them?
Well, to hit some of my favorites, not that I'm picking favorites, don't tell them I said that.
I won't let the church bells know.
Okay, good. Church bells is one of them. So is the waves of the ocean, an airplane. I didn't know that made sound, so it was kind of a question of like, is this a sound? If not, can I replace it? A baby laughing.
Sure.
A race car, an orchestra, a choir, lots of things, little things that all had their own sentimental meanings, and some of them were just like a race car. Yeah, this is cool. I kind of just want to experience this.
Oh, so yeah, and you get the full vibrations, I would imagine, being around race cars and the loudness.
Oh, yeah. You felt it in your soul.
And it was more than around it. She was in a 65 sports car going 120 miles per hour. So it was pretty great.
That's living life right there.
Oh, it definitely was living. It felt a little bit like I might be dying. I was worried for a little bit about my safety there, but the driver, he was absolutely lovely, and everyone that we've met throughout the entirety of this documentary has been so supportive and kind and has shared their stories and how this has impacted them. And it's been an all-around great situation no matter where we go or what experiences we're living.
She is Ella Coonan, the teenager who is the subject of The Sound of a Bucket List documentary being made by local filmmaker David Kay. Also in the studio with me, we're going to find out even more stories behind the sounds and maybe some of the surprises during the filmmaking so far. Stay with us on What's on Tap.
Turn your tax refund into a new kitchen with Menards. Make this the year you check that project off the list. Renovate your space with new cabinets from Cardell. They're ready to install and come in a variety of styles and finishes with free shipping to your home. Visit our kitchen showrooms in-store or go to menards.com for free estimates today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer for all of our hot deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey there, I'm Sandy Max, and I have been fascinated to watch the progress of the Fields in beautiful Lake Country, which is part of Three Pillars Senior Living Communities. And I got to see it from the groundbreaking to the grand opening, and it is their brand new active adult community, and it's stunning. The Fields is a neighborhood-style community. It's not like anything else you've seen in Wisconsin. 110 residences and luxurious amenities, a spa, a supper club, an art studio, and a lot more. It's no surprise it's already one of the most sought-after active adult communities in the state. But there are a handful of homes available. This is the time to schedule your tour. Come see firsthand why Three Pillars Senior Living Communities is consistently ranked the best in Wisconsin. Learn more about the Fields. Go to their website, threepillars.org, today.
Hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, cold plunge. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Sale is happening at the Realtors Home and Garden Show inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. For a limited time, you can save thousands with factory direct pricing and special show discounts. Shop floor models, brand new inventory, and exclusive show-only deals you won't find anywhere else. Don't miss the Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Sale, March 20th through the 29th, only at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Come see it, try it, and save big at the show.
The Brew Crew are back on March 26th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there
she goes! Catch the Brewers on local TV as they open up the season against the Chicago White Sox.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
Brewers opening day is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in March 26th at 1:10 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee or check your local listings to watch the game.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
Church bells are one of 16 sounds that Ella Coonan put on her bucket list. Ella, diagnosed with hearing loss that is inevitable. And she was 17 years old when she got the diagnosis. And she decided she wanted to actually make more of that diagnosis than just a pity party. So she got together with filmmaker David Kay, and they are creating the documentary, The Sound of a Bucket List. And Ella, you're journeying to hear 16 sounds before losing your hearing. All happened within the past 6 months. The film is on the way, but you said church bells was one of your favorites. And what is another one of your favorite moments of experiencing sound?
I've mentioned it so many times before, but my all-time favorite experience, other than just meeting with people, but from the sounds themselves, it has to be the ocean. When the waves hit, it can be very overwhelming, and the sound itself is very, it metaphorically and literally washes over you. But when the wave pulls back and when you feel the pull in the retreat from the wave itself, there's this sizzling sound, almost like silence. And you feel the resonance and you feel that this wave has hit you, but it's over now. And you have to sort of adjust from the very loud wave to the very quiet, sizzling silence. And it was just so touching and such a good metaphor for this entire experience that it truly stuck with me more than any other experience did.
David Kay is the filmmaker of that moment. Do you stay in the moment? How do you get to respond? Well, Ella is experiencing these bucket list sounds.
It can be complicated. I certainly get emotionally overwhelmed. I am a big-time crier. But it's just spending a lot of work getting it right in advance. We've done most of this with a very small crew because we don't want to interfere with it. So often it's our director of photography, Jace, and then myself directing and running sound, and that's it. So we just have to plan ahead. That ocean, though, was a particularly wonderful one. We were in Cocoa Beach, Florida. And Ella was sitting at the edge of the beach in noise-canceling headphones because she didn't want to hear the waves before we got there. So she's sitting there as the sun starts to break over the horizon and come up, and she stood and walked to the edge of the ocean and took them off to hear it for the first time. I've watched the video of that moment probably 40 times already. It sums up everything about this experience that matters. It's about discovering things we don't know that we didn't know, because that's something that's blown my mind time and again. There's things that aren't on the list because Ella didn't know they made sound.
Like what?
The first time she stepped on a leaf in the fall. She didn't know it made a sound. When we were in Florida, we had a pool at our Airbnb, and all of a sudden she looked at me and said, "Wait, is that why flip-flops are called that? They make that sound? It's fantastic." Yeah, because I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have thought of these things. And it's wonderful seeing her learn and experience new things while she still has the chance.
And Ella, how long do you expect to have your hearing according to doctors?
It tends to vary. There's no linear rate of change happening. Sometimes I'll lose 10 decibels in 3 months. Sometimes I'll lose 15 decibels. I am losing it very quickly, and it's very likely that by the time of graduation, I won't be able to hear them call my name as I cross the stage, and I won't get to have that auditory ranking of everyone cheering to symbolize all of my achievements and the fact that I've survived. I'm at the point now where I can't really hear myself. I am struggling at drama club because I do a lot of theater to hear the songs. So we are pretty close at this point.
I say, when you talk about graduation, are you talking May or are you talking next year?
I'm talking May.
My goodness. That's very sobering. You're brave, you're bright, and I'm glad that you are sharing your story because this is hopeful. I'm with Ella Coonan, subject of The Sound of a Bucket List documentary being made, along with filmmaker David Kay. We'll find out more about the film, how and when we can see it, and some other behind-the-scenes stories. Stay with us on What's on Tap.
At Erickson's Landscape Supply, we have durable, maintenance-free polywood patio furniture and #1 grade treated natural pine Amish-made patio furniture. And we also have a wonderful assortment of concrete benches, statues, and fountains available in a selection you just gotta see to believe. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less, plus a whole lot more. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection or stop on in today. He told us to load 4 yards into his 8-foot bed, but we knew that 3 full, honestly measured yards were going to fill his truck bed to the rim. After we proved that, he told us the other guys have been telling him he's been getting 4 yards in there for years. Honest measurements and honest folks who just want to do you right. So you come back. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet. They do life's heavy lifting, so we owe them the greatest attention in return. The Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network provides expert orthopedic and spine care to help you move, lift, turn, and reach with the most possible ease. Whether you have a sports-related injury or a nagging condition that just won't go away, excellence should always be an option. So we make our care available in nearby locations and offer same-day ortho and spine appointments when relief can't wait. It's how to recover quicker, prevent small concerns from becoming big ones, and solve complex issues with the expertise you can only get with academic medicine. We're given just one body, so let's tend to it, check in on it. Let's give it the greatest of care, because when it's tuned up and injury-free, we can always be pushing ahead. To learn more about our nationally recognized orthopedic and spine care, visit froedtert.com/ortho.
True luxury is the absence of worry. It begins the moment you settle into your seat with Delta Vacations and continues as you step onto the polished teak decks of a Holland America ship. Whether you're chasing the northern lights or the Mediterranean sun, Fox World Travel anticipates every detail so you can simply savor the journey. Stop managing the logistics and start making memories. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com to elevate your travel today.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Sewer Ninjas, and Accurate Basement Repair. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. What's on Tap with Sandy Max is back on WTMJ.
The sounds of a waterfall. A lot better than when that's coming in your basement. That is not a sound you want to hear. But if you're out in nature, absolutely beautiful. And my guests in the studio are part of the Sound of a Bucket List documentary that is in progress being made. The subject is Ella Coonan. And Ella, describe what your hearing situation is as a teenager who's about to graduate in a couple of months.
I am about to go completely deaf. And I'm pretty close at this point. It's definitely not an ideal situation. We are on the lower end of hearing at this point. It's considered severe in the range of mild, moderate to severe. Now we're in the severe to profound range.
And when you lose your hearing, hearing aids won't help. This will be absolute deafness, silence for you.
Correct. It's we have options in terms of cochlear implants, in terms of continuing to use hearing aids in different ways, but at the end of the day, it's going to be silence.
Well, this documentary is exploring the realization of what if it really is silence and being able to embrace 16 sounds on your bucket list. And filmmaker David Kay has been with you every step of the way over the past almost year, capturing these moments. And David, it's been fascinating I see why you would want to capture this journey, and especially with Ella, who you're just a bright light, but not Pollyanna, but like, hey, this is my journey. And you say it's about the sounds for you, but what is the movie really about for everyone else?
For me, I've said it before, the sounds are for me. The documentary is for others. It's truly about being able to help other people experience grief and experience pain in whatever ways they may feel, and recognize that pain is a part of joy and joy is a part of life. And it's okay to experience really sad situations and really difficult things and still continue to chase joy, because you deserve sunshine, even if it takes a little rain first.
And David Kay, as the filmmaker, is that what you intended with this film? Has that been your mission, or has your intention evolved since filming?
The intention has absolutely evolved. The first priority was, if I start making this and it gets Ella the 16 sounds and then the movie falls apart, it was worth it because it gets her the 16 sounds. But now it really is about sharing the story, because as Ella said, there is pain, but it's not a story about pain, and it's not a story about loss, even though that's there. It's about grabbing the things that matter and holding on to them as tight as you can. And this film is being made in such a way that someone who cannot hear anything will be able to have a full experience watching it. Every single version of it will have subtitles. We're planning to have on-screen ASL interpretation. And we're actually hosting an art gallery show at the end of the summer where artists are doing different pieces inspired by recordings of the sounds as Ella heard them, and making art pieces so we can have those in the film as well.
What an exciting way to extend the creative reach of your documentary. So The Sound of a Bucket List, we'll be keeping our eyes open. What's the next step to complete production and get released?
Sure. We have still a fair number of interviews with Ella, with her sisters, with a few doctors. But it's a lot of post-production, which is also an expensive part, of course. With films, you usually fundraise in advance, and we didn't have that option this time because we needed to start right away with Ella. So in the last few years, both of my in-laws passed away, and honestly, my wife and I, in selling their house, have paid for this so far. But so we're still scraping together some money to finish it because we don't have the money right now. But the hope is to finish it in the next 6 months, to get an original score, color correction, full editing, and then have it in film festivals for next year. So hopefully next April you'll see us in the Milwaukee Film Festival. Fingers crossed.
I would say you certainly seem passionate and motivated, and what a unique story, and what a special story, and what a gift you are to the world, and what a gift you are in telling this story. That both of you are really sharing something personal, emotional, yet has those universal themes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and if people want to follow along, we're of course on social media, Instagram, and like a Sound of a Bucket List. And we have a website, soundofabucketlist.com. It has links to everything, the newsletter we're starting up. And if they want to reach out and contact me about how they can help get this finished, I'm always here to listen.
He is David Kay, local filmmaker, and Ella Coonan. Best wishes to you for the rest of your school year, and happy graduation early.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And next on What's on Tap, art-inspired cocktails and mocktails. More next. But first, we go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Here is Elizabeth Lintonen.
Thank you, Sandy. Decision Wisconsin, tonight's scheduled debate between state Supreme Court candidates Judge Maria Lazar and Judge Chris Taylor is being postponed. Representative for Judge Taylor say she's been diagnosed with kidney stones. The debate will now happen on April 2nd. Early voting for the spring race has already started ahead of Election Day on April 7th. A man from Milwaukee faces felony charges for domestic violence-related arson and cyber stalking. A federal grand jury indicted 35-year-old Dante Bracey Jr. for allegedly intentionally setting fire to a multi-unit apartment building on January 10th. Prosecutors also allege that he threatened a person multiple times by phone, causing them to fear for their life and suffer emotional distress. Police say the incidents were related to domestic violence. If convicted on all counts, Bracey faces up to life in prison. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We are still seeing those minor delays on I-94 right near American Family Field. A little worse if you're heading westbound. You're going to start hitting those brakes right around 35th Street. Other than that, though, no major incidents, no major delays. Time Time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, low of 46. Tomorrow, slight chance of morning showers. Afternoon showers likely, high of 50 for opening day. Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy and chilly, high of 38. Saturday, partly cloudy, high of 47. Sunday, slight chance of showers, high of 58 degrees. Right now, in Green Bay, it's 54. In Madison, it's 58. In Waukesha, it is 61. And in Milwaukee, it is 59 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Lintonen. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:32.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does. Because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
It's almost here.
Terang, a fly ball to center. It is gone!
Baseball is back and almost within reach. Join us on WTMJ for coverage leading up to opening day. We'll be broadcasting live from American Family Field leading right up to the first pitch. Opening day on WTMJ is presented by Big Fish Contracting. We are the home of the Brewers all season long. WTMJ. Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Welcome back to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world-class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. I feel sophisticated. If you've ever walked into the historic Pfister Hotel and just even looked up at the ceiling, there's painting on the ceiling. It's just a beautiful, beautiful historic space. And Mason Street Grill has come up with a brilliant idea to showcase so much of the beautiful artwork all around the Pfister Hotel, not just on the ceiling, by making beverage creations. And joining me now in the WTMJ studio is Seth Johnson, assistant manager of Mason Street Grill. And Seth, who came up with this great idea to create cocktails inspired by the paintings that you walk by and see, and the lion at the base of the staircase?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a collection between our leadership team and some of our bartenders over here. You said it right there. You walk through the hotel every day, see all this beautiful artwork. We have the largest private Victorian collection of art in the world. And so it just was an easy inspiration.
It's still a stunner to me.
It is. It's something they share with you in orientation, and you're like, oh, really? Like, it's such a surprise. And then there's so much that isn't even out in the hotel and is locked up in the vault downstairs. So it was an easy way to draw inspiration for cocktails for this season.
And did everybody kind of get to say, hey, you know, I really like this painting? Because it's not all Victorian, because Reginald Baylor, who's got a really bright, colorful painting, is included in the cocktail menu. Did everybody kind of get to choose a favorite painting and then build the cocktail recipe from there?
Exactly. That's a little bit how it started, especially with Reginald, too. His piece of art that we named Captive's Last Idea cocktail out is right in front of the artist in residence studio, and he was one of the first artists in residence for the Pfister. So it was really easy to kind of like have him be one of our flagship kind of pieces over here, as well as he's a regular in Mason Street Grill, so we see him frequently
that's
as well.
great that you get to see him. Plus, his style of painting is very bold. It's very bright. It's colorful. I can see where that would automatically inspire you to go, "Ooh, I'm going to use this color mixer or this color of bourbon or mixer."
Yeah, and for his artwork and the cocktail we came up with specifically, it's a little bit of a play on a Moscow Mule. And so where we kind of brighten that up, tying into his style, is with lingonberry puree. Lingonberry, for those who aren't familiar, is a very native Swedish ingredient. So it's kind of like a cousin of a cranberry. It's got that bright kind of red and garnet colors over here. And it's bitter but still sweet. So we kind of use it to kind of spice up the drink a little bit and give it a little bit something different versus your standard Moscow Mule.
And just roll down the list of the cocktails. Are they all named specifically after the painting title, or are they inspired by the painting title?
I would say that they're all named after the painting, but then in terms of some of the ingredients and composition are inspired by the art itself.
That's where the creativity flows. Because I got to tell you, the top of the list is the lion, and it just made me laugh. That's one of the signature things you think of in the lobby are the lions at the base of the stairs.
Exactly. They're guarding the base of the stairs down there. The two lions' names, Dick and Harry. And they're just, yes, it's just fantastic over here. And that's where we kind of drew inspiration for the cocktail with the lion. It's going to be your kind of spruced up old fashioned over here. We use our Mason Street Grill single barrel Uncle Nearest bourbon. And what we did to kind of spice it up a little bit is we fat washed it with brown butter. And so anybody that's had a steak from Mason Street Grill as well, that's our signature steak method, is how we finish it, is with some signature seasoning blends and then a lot of brown butter over here. So we wanted to kind of tie that in and add a culinary component to the cocktail as well.
I wasn't kidding when I said sophisticated around here. What a wonderful blend of combinations.
Yes.
So it really is mixologists. How many mixologists put their heads together on these handcrafted
I would say
cocktails?
there's probably a team of 4 or 5 of us kind of between everybody at Mason Street Grill to kind of make this idea real.
I love the creativity. I'm sorry that it ends at the end of March. Is there any chance you would extend this?
Maybe some feature cocktails aside from our signature seasonal cocktails we offer. We're always playing with brand new fun stuff. We're bringing back some classics, maybe for a week or a weekend over here. So there's a really good chance that some of these ideas could make it come back with us in the bar.
And what's another one of your favorites?
Certainly. So one of my favorites is going to be the fortune teller over here. And it's got a really fun, unique element to it where we do a shiitake mushroom-infused reposado tequila. So we take some dried shiitake mushrooms, age it in some reposado tequila for a few days, and then they're like sponges. They just suck up all that tequila, and then when we're done, we literally squeeze them and wring out all the tequila that's left in there, and then we are left with just this super flavorful tequila. It is already enough with all the oak aging, but then you add in that umami element with the shiitake mushrooms, and it just takes it to the next level.
That sounds like something I can't make at home. It really sounds like an expert is making these cocktails.
It's all super easy. Anybody could do this at home. It just feels super impressive, but I mean, the techniques are very simple, and we just let the drinks and ingredients speak for themselves.
Well, you say that, Seth, and that's very nice of you to have the faith in the rest of us, but being a mixologist is finding the balance of those flavors, and that comes with experience and, of course, taste testing.
Perfect. Of course. Yeah, maybe I can provide a list of my home bar setup. It might be a little more elevated than most. Maybe that's part of it, too.
I'm so excited by this idea. And then the other question I have is there a map that goes along with, like, so if I order the Eternal Apple of Eve, where can I find that painting? Or just go to the concierge and say, can you point me in the direction to find this?
It's a little
artwork?
bit of kind of that unspoken map, maybe a little hidden thing. We incorporated in all our training materials with all of our servers, bartenders, and team members over here. So if anybody kind of sparks that interest and shows a little interest on where do I find it, we've got a little kind of cheat sheet for them that we've trained them on, so they can go like
Just
for the line
ask.
exactly, like go to the staircase in the main lobby, even take the drink out with you if you want to, so you can experience it while viewing the art as well.
Oh, I didn't even think of that, to truly pair it with the artwork.
Yes.
Not just inspired by the
Yes.
artwork. And it's a great reason to roam around and really soak up all the beauty of the Pfister Hotel.
Correct. We did that one day for a photo shoot with our team. We got a little bar cart assembled. We had all the ingredients. We were going around from artwork to artwork all throughout the hotel and doing it. We're like, this would be a great idea for a happy hour over here, even just to roll around the hotel.
I feel like this is not the last we've seen of these handcrafted cocktails inspired by artwork all around the Pfister Hotel. We've talked about cocktails. When we come back, we're going to talk about the mocktails as well, inspired by artwork. And I see you've brought the shaker. Might even get to see you mix up a mocktail.
Yes, certainly.
He is Seth Johnson of Mason Street Grill, sharing handcrafted cocktails inspired by beautiful artwork inside the Pfister Hotel. Stay with us on What's on Tap.
carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
At Associated Bank, we know you want your kids to be smart with money. So you know what we thought was smart? Making sure money speaks your language. Debit cards for kids? Your kid gets a debit card you can open online in minutes. Parental controls? Parents, you still get to see how they spend, so you have some control. And Credit Monitor? Your money lessons add up to a credit score you'll all be proud of. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Do you know the definition of insanity? Why keep putting asphalt shingles on to go through the pain of hail damage, insurance claims, and storm chasers? Let's do it once and do it right with metal roofing from Abbey Home. We've all made bad decisions, but as long as we learn from it, it won't cost us twice. Choose a stone-coated metal roof this time. Right now, get 50% off installation. That's 50% off installation. And if somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl. Go to abbyhome.com today. Or give us a call, 414-436-ABBY. That's 414-436-2229.
Shag carpet, avocado appliances, no frills backyards. A lot has changed. For 100 years, the Realtors Home and Garden Show, presented by Unilock, has showcased what's next, helping homeowners and gardeners rethink the way they live, indoors and out. This year's 100th annual show is packed with ideas for today, from smart homes to outdoor living spaces. Join us March 20th through 29th at State Fair Park. Buy tickets at mkehgs.com.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Max on WTMJ.
A sensual way to enjoy the artwork at the historic Pfister Hotel is to enjoy a cocktail inspired by the art and that you can even pair with the art as you walk around. From Mason Street Grill, the Assistant General Manager, Seth Johnson, is in the studio with me. Thank you for coming up with this idea. I love that you and the whole team went, this is a beautiful space. We're inspired to make flavors based on the colors and figures that we see, including the lions at the base of the stair. I cannot tell you why I'm so charmed by that, but having a bourbon cocktail inspired by Dick and Harry?
Yes.
And how did Dick and Harry, the lions, get their name?
That's a good question. I think it supersedes my time at the Pfister Hotel. So
I can't believe all this time I have never known that their names were Dick and Harry. Now
it's
I can
always a
pat
fun
them.
thing to say at the lobby bar for everybody, too, when they're looking over at the Lions.
I can rub their heads now the next time I walk through the lobby. So we talked about a wonderful array of cocktails that have all the spirits that you would expect and different liqueurs and rims and egg whites and all the fancy things. But you also have a zero-proof menu of 5 different cocktails, also known as mocktails.
Yes, we kind of took an elevated take on mocktails and came up with a zero-proof cocktail menu. And that's because we're putting the same time, attention, detail, thought, connecting it to the artwork into these drinks as well, too. So we kind of wanted to create kind of that next tier up for our guests to be able to enjoy in the hotel and in the restaurant.
I love that you brought one to sample because I was just out Saturday in the afternoon before a play at the Rep, and I was at St. Kate, and I was like, you know what? I do want to have something that makes me feel elegant and out with a gal pal. I'll get the zero proof. It was an elderflower delicious mocktail. I mean, but so it did satisfy that flavor and that feeling, and it was absolutely delicious. So what have you brought to mix up today?
Yeah, certainly. So we brought the ingredients to make the Rose Garden over here. So the Rose Garden art piece itself is located on the 7th floor of the hotel, which is where all the banquets, wedding, and events happen. And then this specific artwork is located just outside of the original Imperial Ballroom on the historic Pfister side, opposed to the tower side, which is the newer part of the building.
Yeah, and it's got one of those beautiful gilded frames.
Yes.
We're showing it on our WTMJ YouTube channel. If you text the word watch to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line, text watch to 855-616-1620. You can see the painting paired with this zero proof, the Rose Garden delicious drink. So go ahead. I see you've got something that's going to pop and make some sound as well.
Yes, certainly. Yeah. So this is kind of a little play on some of the favorite kind of Aperol spritzes, Hugo spritzes, and everything along those lines. So we're going to start with some non-alcoholic rum over here. And then we're going to add a couple of our house-made syrups we made, a spiced fig syrup.
Ooh.
Which is a little thicker than I
But
expected.
I would just say, but fig is one of those sweeteners that is just unmistakable.
Correct.
And
so
rich.
as we kind of added this during the winter and fall season, I mean, just some of those rich, kind of warm flavors to kind of brighten you up in some of these harsh Milwaukee winters over here.
Thank God it's finally 60-something degrees.
Yes, we're getting flashes of it, exactly.
63 degrees right now, thank
Exactly.
goodness.
We're looking forward to our patio season with those 60-degree weather days for sure, though.
There we go, that sounds good.
So just give it a quick little shake just to get everything incorporated, especially that thick, because it's very viscous and thick over here. And we're going to pour it over some fresh ice.
Because fig syrup is not something I tend to have at home.
No.
So it is a treat to go out and have a real
certainly.
mixologist create a well-balanced, beautiful cocktail.
And then we're going to top it off with some non-alcoholic champagne over here.
Ooh, we got the fizz.
Yes.
So the Rose Garden. And are you attributing different mixologists to their favorite cocktails, or are we all the team's just taking credit for another
It's
delicious?
the team. Truthfully, we all kind of come up with some of our own ideas, and then we'll sit down as like a panel almost and do a tasting together, and we'll go, needs a little bit of this, a little bit of this. It very much feels like a culinary approach to our cocktails.
What a great job. And it's wonderful to know that there is truly not just one guy who knows how to make the good drinks.
Yes.
It's a true team of mixologists.
And also
at
there's
Mason
a
Street
team that
Grill.
has to taste all of them, which is the toughest
Yeah,
part,
exactly.
that's for sure. And then we're just going to finish this off with a little nutmeg and cinnamon sprinkle over here. And then we garnish with a dried fig and a cinnamon stick, so you get some of those aromatics when you go up for your first few sips.
Wow. Oh, that looks delicious. I may have to sip that. I may have to try that out. Bring it on over here,
Yeah,
Seth.
certainly.
If you don't mind. Yeah. It's like, because I don't want to watch. I can already smell it. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. So what else? Oh, well, this just in. I think we found out by popular demand, these art-inspired cocktails and zero-proof beverages are not ending at the end of March as I thought.
Yes, we're extending it to about the middle of April over here. So there'll be still a few more weeks to come and enjoy some of the art-inspired cocktails, and then go take some self-guided tours throughout the hotel as
That
well
is
as
so
see where the
great.
inspiration came from.
I'm taking a sip. It's with the fig. I thought it might be a little heavy, but you're right. Duh. Aperol spritz. We say Aperol, not Aperol. Who put the ape in apricot? But it is a rich fizz. Ooh, yeah. You can't. You've got to keep this menu. I don't think you should ever let this menu go
I
because
agree,
it's
I
such
agree.
a gateway
It's so much
to the
fun.
artwork.
Yes.
All of the beautiful paintings there. So thank you so much for giving us a new way to appreciate the art inside the Pfister Hotel, which, again, we know it's there. It's a beautiful space, but to have the chance to savor it and stop and have a reason to spend more time with an individual artwork, with a delicious work of art that you can sip, it really is a great pairing, a great idea.
Yeah, we appreciate you and then all of our loyal tenured guests over here coming in to try and appreciate that. It was a lot of fun making this menu.
Oh, good. And any other ways we should keep up with you in Mason Street Grill? Because I have to think with spring and summer coming, you'll have some other seasonal evolutions.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we have a couple kind of annual things coming up over here. We have our Easter and Mother's Day brunches coming up. We're doing a brunch from 9:30 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon, and then we'll open up for our regular dinner service those evenings from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Graduation season is right around the corner for
Yeah.
those at Marquette, UWM, MSOE. So we're always a destination loving to host the graduates after some years of hard work over here. As well as nightly throughout the week, Monday through Friday, we have our happy hour from 4 p.m. to 6:30. And then we just started offering an industry night as well, too, on Mondays. So we're extending our happy hour an additional 2 hours to 8:30 to kind of welcome everybody that has off on Mondays or getting off from their shift to come unwind and enjoy a more elevated bar experience.
And it was all I could do to not interrupt you and go steak forks with red
Steak
wine.
forks, exactly.
Great happy hour. Thank you so much. He is Seth Johnson, the Assistant General Manager at Mason Street Grill. Look forward to seeing you again sometime soon, either there or back here in the studio.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And next, remembering Captain James Lovell. Today would have been his birthday. Someone that I know thinks he's a Wisconsin idol. We'll find out more next on What's on Tap.
Tune in to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Well, Brad Schimmel will continue to lead the U.S. Attorney's Office in Wisconsin's Eastern District after all, under a new title.
Bringing you the latest in news, sports, traffic, and weather.
Plans for a Charlie Kirk Way in Washington County will be considered next month by the county board.
Every weekday from noon until 3 p.m. Only on WTMJ.
He told us to load 4 yards into his 8-foot bed, but we knew that 3 full, honestly measured yards were going to fill his truck bed to the rim. After we proved that, he told us the other guys have been telling him he's been getting 4 yards in there for years. Honest measurements and honest folks who just want to do you right. So you come back. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. We did the math. When you buy bagged mulch from the big guys, you pay $50 a yard. Why pay more for inferior mulch? When you buy from Erickson's, you'll get premium mulch for almost half the cost. And you'll see that even our economy mulch is better, for less than half the cost of bag mulch. And either choice is made with premium colorant that lasts longer. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
So if you're looking to install a new glass shower door, you're going to want to see selection. The more you see, the better choice you can make. And that's why our store is loaded with 20 different glass shower door options. And what sets Les's Glass apart is that you're going to have somebody close by for help who's been here for years and years to ask them questions and get reliable answers. Now, no one's going to be hounding you, but when you need an answer, you're not going to have to search around. One thing you can count on at Les's Glass is that there will always be a member of our staff here with decades of experience. And that matters, because how many times have you been at the big box home improvement store, walking around trying to find someone who can actually answer your questions? This is Stacy Sinks. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
James Lovell. You see his name on street signs in Milwaukee, and for good reason. Legendary NASA astronaut, best known as the commander of the Apollo 13, that ill-fated mission that became the story of survival and ingenuity, and Tom Hanks got to star in the movie. And it is, if you've ever looked up Captain James Lovell, a smart man, a nice man, and I think we're all proud that he has Wisconsin ties. Well, today would have been his birthday, and he, like I said, has Wisconsin ties. He graduated, he attended the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and he married a Wisconsin woman, high school sweetheart, and he really is one of the most notable figures in space exploration. And Wisconsin author Dean Robbins joined me in the studio a couple months ago, and he has written a book about Wisconsin idols and 100 people that shaped his life and the world. And when he visited me earlier this year, he told me about why he chose to include Captain James Lovell as one of his Wisconsin idols.
He's been a hero of mine since I was a kid. I was the perfect age in the 1960s and 70s to fall in love with astronauts. So when I grew up to be a journalist and I had a chance to interview James Lovell, I was thrilled.
Oh,
and
time with Captain Lovell is always good time.
Oh, my gosh.
What was that experience like?
Well, he had his story about the famous Apollo 13 disaster where he was 200,000 miles from space with his crewmates and a tank exploded. And so they had to improvise one of the greatest recoveries in the annals of aviation. They repurposed their lunar module as a kind of life raft and somehow got back to Earth. So, of course, I wanted to talk to him about that because I'd followed it, minute by minute when it was happening in 1970. Well, he had his story, and it was always the same. And, why wouldn't it be? That was his story. But I wanted something different. So I kept circling around to what gave you the ability to be the way you are, basically the right stuff. How did you become the hero that you are? Was there something special in your childhood? Was there something in Milwaukee? He didn't want to answer that question because it wasn't really part of his script. But I kept circling around to it. And finally, at the end, I asked the question in a certain way, and he stopped for a second and he said, well, I was the only child of a single mother, and she was always off at work, and it left me to my own devices. And I guess I had to develop the quality of self-reliance. And it was almost like he was thinking about that for the first time himself. And I thought, wow, I got a scoop here.
He is author Dean Robbins, author of the book Wisconsin Idol, all about 100 people who shaped his life and the world, celebrating what would have been the birthday of Captain James Lovell, who went to UW-Madison for a couple years, married high school sweetheart Marilyn Lovell now, who went to Juneau High School. So paying tribute to him and maybe take a drive on James Lovell Street. Prepping you for Brewers opening day. Next, updates on who's pitching, who's performing, special pints to drink, and Brewers-themed sweet treats to enjoy if you aren't going to the ballpark tomorrow. Stay with me on What's on Tap.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Hi, I'm Jane. Before moving to Capri Communities, my daughter spent more time helping me with chores than enjoying our visits. Now she comes over and we can go to concerts, we enjoy delicious meals, and participate in activities that are always happening. I choose senior living so that our time together can be more about fun than fixing things. And I love the freedom it gives me every day.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at CapriCommunities.com.
Start your painting project and save big on everything when you shop at Menards. Pittsburgh's premier interior paint is a paint and primer in one that provides excellent all-around performance and a durable finish that's easy to clean. Visit us in-store or on Menards.com to save big on all Pittsburgh paints and get your project started today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer and find more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
The road trip continues.
It sucks to
stuck on the road.
Hit it from the elbow, rebounded by Ryan Rollins. Rollins drives right past Barnes, soars to the rim on the other side, punches it through, and then headbutts the backstop.
The Bucks hit the trail to Portland to take on the Blazers. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 8:30 on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
It sucks because we're stuck on the road.
You can't beat Bernhardt.
Sports lovers love us.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 57 degrees here in Milwaukee. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, low of 46. Tomorrow, slight chance of morning showers. Afternoon showers likely, high of 50. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Elizabeth Lintonen. Efforts to end the partial government shutdown have stalled, with lawmakers still divided over funding for the Department of Homeland Security. A Senate vote to advance a funding measure fell short of the 60 votes needed, signaling a return to a stalemate after earlier optimism this week. CBS News' Taureen Small.
The problem happened when Democrats saw the language of this bill, because there are two major operational components to ICE. That's the Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, and Enforcement Removal Operations, ERO. HSI would be funded in this proposal that Republicans offer to Democrats. Democrats say, absolutely not. We're not sending one more penny to ICE until reforms are met.
The last time TSA agents saw a paycheck was February 13th. Oil prices dropped on Wednesday on renewed hopes that U.S. talks with Iran to end the war will be successful. Market experts Doug Flynn tells News Nation that even if the war ends and the Strait of Hormuz opens, oil producers will be hesitant.
They're not going to ramp up massive production immediately because they want assurances, and it's not just a day or week. You know, it's going to take a couple weeks to say, if we start ramping this up and then we have to turn it back down again, we're going to have the same problem.
Even with peace talks underway, the Pentagon is reportedly sending more troops to the Middle East. A child dies after a car accident in the village of Lac La Belle.
Two-vehicle accident, SUV versus a smaller white vehicle. There's a child laying face down in a driveway moving, possibly another that may have been ejected in traffic.
Scanner audio from Broadcastify. Police responded just after 7 a.m. Wednesday morning near State Highway 67 and McMahon Road. A man driving on Highway 67 hit another car that was waiting to turn onto the road. A 10-year-old boy in the struck car died at the scene. Both drivers and another passenger in the struck car were taken to the hospital. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:04.
Sponsored by Redo Cabinets. Don't replace, reface.
At Redo Cabinets, we know the kitchen is the heart of the home. It's the place that design and function matter most. Mark Olson here. Redo Cabinets wants to transform your kitchen into your vision without the mess, the stress, or the cost of a full kitchen remodel with cabinet refacing. During our spring sales event, learn all about refacing, premium cabinet products, and plenty of options for color, hardware, style, and accessories. And now get a free premium countertop with every refacing project, or payments that start as low as $195 a month. Call today and book a free, no obligation consultation. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
For those with a warm weather passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gerber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers' rotation is set for the opening series against the White Sox. Baseball's regular season begins tonight with the Yankees taking on the San Francisco Giants. The NFL announces the regular season will begin Wednesday, September 9th, with the Super Bowl champion Seahawks hosting an opponent to be determined. And the Bucs road trip continues tonight in Portland against the Trail Blazers. Our coverage starts at 8:30 right here on WTMJ. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic, we are still seeing just the tiniest of slowdowns at I-94 right near American Family Field. Other than that, no major incidents, no major delays. Time for your WTMJ forecast. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, low of 46. Tomorrow, slight chance of morning showers. Afternoon showers likely, high of 50. Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy and chilly. A slight chance of snow showers, high of 38. Saturday, partly cloudy, high of 47. Sunday, slight chance of showers later in the day, high of 58 degrees. Right now in Green Bay, it's 53. Madison, 56. Waukesha, 58. And in Milwaukee, it is 57 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Lintonen, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:07.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee, a deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Max.
Hanging out with you for about 20 minutes before the Milwaukee Bucks game. Coverage starts as they take on the Portland Trail Blazers, but we have tomorrow opening day for your Milwaukee Brewers, and everyone here at WTMJ is excited. We've been making plans more than just today, but today was definitely a preparation day, and you will hear coverage from morning till evening all day long on WTMJ as your Milwaukee Brewers kick off the 2026 season. Game time is 1:20 and 1:10. Pardon me, 1:10 as they take on the White Sox. And if you're going, you've got lots to look forward to. Get there and get your 2026 Milwaukee Brewers magnet schedule from Palermo's Pizza. Also, if you get there like around 11:30, you can see the Whiskey Bells performing at the Miller Lite Landing. Then they're going to hustle inside. They're going to perform the national anthem with Valkyrie, a bald eagle from the Schlitz Audubon Nature Center on the field, and also great big American flag will be unfurled across the outfield of American Family Field during the national anthem. Also pregame, World Baseball Classic ceremony. Members of Team Venezuela, including Jackson Churio, William Contreras, Angel Zerpa, and Coach Nestor Corredor, and member of Team USA, Bryce Terang. They're all going to be recognized on the field for their participation in the 2026 World Baseball Classic, and more world-class athleticism. A Wisconsin Olympian ceremony. Wisconsin natives and Olympic athletes, speed skater Jordan Stolz and biathlete Deidre Irwin will be honored. And then the ceremonial first pitches, Jordan Stolz going to have to put on a baseball jersey and use his throwing arm. American long track speed skater, Olympic gold medalist Jordan Stolz will be throwing out one of the ceremonial first pitches. And the other Jordan that we enjoy here in Wisconsin, Green Bay Packers quarterback Jordan Love. So that'll happen about 1:02 p.m. So I know we all like to have fun outside tailgating. Make sure you're in for those pregame ceremonies. And if speaking of tailgating, if you like beer, Grand Slamber Ale is the opening day brew at Jay Leinenkugel's Barrel Yard. Grand Slamber Ale, caramel malts for a smooth, sweet malt profile, balanced by light grapefruit hop aroma. Going to be on tap throughout opening weekend. So Grand Slamber Ale, if that sounds tempting. But also remember, going to the ballpark, do not immediately get up out of your seat after that final out. It is going to be a very special occasion. You will be one of the very first people to see a 20-minute preview of the upcoming Uke documentary. And this traces It looks at Uke's life through the filter of the past 3 seasons, and especially through his baseball life, which he loved so much. This is a clip from the film where he talks about just getting so excited about the Milwaukee Braves.
When the Braves came to Milwaukee, I remember the parade.
A capacity crowd of some 34,000 fans jammed the new $5 million county stadium.
I was at the ballpark every day. Being born and raised in Milwaukee, that was a big deal. It really was. And watching them as a kid, you wanted to become a big league player at that time.
So you get to see vintage footage and footage of Bob Uecker that you've never seen before as part of this documentary. So you'll get to see a 20-minute preview of the Uke documentary. Stay in your seats. It'll be on the big screen there before the world premiere on opening night of the Milwaukee Film Festival on April 16th. So I'm very convinced that this will tempt your taste buds. Speaking of tempting your taste buds and Bob Uecker, if you cannot get to the ballpark tomorrow, for whatever reason, you can listen here on WTMJ. You can treat yourself to something sweet as a consolation. Mr. Baseball is the name of the flavor at Kopp's tomorrow. And talk about flavors for that Grand Slamber Ale. The flavors in Mr. Baseball frozen custard at Kopp's: caramel malt custard and beer nuts and fudge-covered peanuts and a splash of Miller Lite. Should come in a plaid cup is what I think would be the perfect container for that. Mr. Baseball frozen custard tomorrow at Kopp's. And then also remember, you've got the O&H Brewers Kringle that is only available in their 5 location stores. Brewer Lemon Blueberry Kringle that has the icing and blue and yellow sprinkles on it. So maybe that'll go with your coffee at the office tomorrow if you can't get to the ballpark on opening day itself. That's all right. They'll be playing for the whole season long. Listen to WTMJ all day for opening day tomorrow. And listen next for a legendary baseball poem on What's on Tap.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Stop into Ken Michaels Furniture for our sale on Braddington Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Braddington Young is an American icon in quality leather upholstery. Whether you're looking for power recliners or stationary seating, BY's Furniture is made with enduring quality, outstanding comfort, and timeless styling. Save 35% now on Braddington Young upholstery at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield and Greenfield. Visit us today.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
The only place to get this.
Bucks have lost now 3 consecutive games, and for the second time this year are now 11 games under 500.
With some of this.
If I would have told you, hey, they're going to be fully healthy to start the season, and then they're not healthy again until mid-March, it should come as no surprise that they are where they are in the standings. At the same token, injury should not be an excuse.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ. What's on Tap with Sandy Max is back on WTMJ.
Hey, take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd.
We are getting in a big baseball mood here with the Milwaukee Brewers home opener tomorrow at 1:10 at American Family Field, playing the Chicago White Sox to kick off what we all hope is an excellent winning season here in Milwaukee. Your Milwaukee Brewers getting ready to kick it off tomorrow, and baseball has inspired great literature, like the classic poem by Ernest Lawrence Thayer, Casey at the Bat. and renowned Milwaukee actor James Pickering. He is a huge Brewers fan, and he offered to record a spoken word performance of this baseball poem by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. Here is James Pickering with Casey at the Bat.
Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with but one inning more to play. And then when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a sickly silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to that hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that. We'd put up even money now, with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did also Jimmy Blake, and the former was a Lulu, and the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey's getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had settled and they saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell, it knocked upon the mountain and recoiled upon the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile on Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers he lightly doffed his hat, no stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Casey's eye. A sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone in the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stifled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the spheroid flew, but Casey still ignored it. And the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and the echo answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is gone from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out.
Milwaukee actor James Pickering reading Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. Hear it again? Share it with your favorite baseball fan. You can text the word Casey, C-A-S-E-Y. Text Casey to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. Text C-A-S-E-Y to 855-616-1620 to have the poem on demand on your smartphone. Listen to it and share. It's also posted at WTMJ.com, too, and just perfect to get you in the spirit for the beginning of a fresh Brewers baseball season. And next, an invitation for you, an announcement to join me for a special night of musical theater at a discount. Next on What's on Tap.
Hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, cold plunge. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Sale is happening at the Realtors Home and Garden Show inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. For a limited time, you can save thousands with factory direct pricing and special show discounts. Shop floor models, brand new inventory, and exclusive show-only deals you won't find anywhere else. Don't miss the Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Sale, March 20th through the 29th, only at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Come see it, try it, and save big at the show.
Shag carpet, avocado appliances, no frills backyards. A lot has changed. For 100 years, the Realtors Home and Garden Show, presented by Unilock, has showcased what's next, helping homeowners and gardeners rethink the way they live, indoors and out. This year's 100th annual show is packed with ideas for today, from smart homes to outdoor living spaces. Join us March 20th through 29th at State Fair Park. Buy tickets at mkehgs.com.
When you or a loved one has been seriously injured, the final score matters.
Attorney Ed Robinson with Cannon and Dunphy.
Unexpected medical bills and wage loss may result in financial uncertainty and stress. In such difficult times, some insurance companies will seek to offer you a quick settlement that will shortchange you in the end. Don't let the insurance company win. Instead, hire the experienced and dedicated team at Cannon and Dunphy. Results matter. Let us put our winning lineup of attorneys and staff to work for you.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Get your rock solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
I'm Libby Collins. This week on WTMJ Conversations, we talk with Michael Trinkline, who's behind the pioneers of television. And he'll tell us whether or not the late-night TV hosts of these days could ever live up to a true TV legend.
Richard Nixon said, "Let's get Cavett. We got to get rid of this guy." And I played it for him. He was so excited that he was important enough to have been an enemy of Nixon.
WTMJ Conversations, Sunday mornings at 11 on WTMJ. Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
To see this show. It is a mashup. Oh, I wouldn't call it a mashup, but it's Shakespeare to a rock and roll soundtrack. Love, mischief, all the fun things that can come in a musical. A Rockin' Midsummer Night's Dream. A modern rock and roll twist on Shakespeare. And if you're like, I don't know, is that something I would like because I'm a Shakespeare purist? Or I don't know, Sandy, you had me at, rockin', but then you might have lost me at Shakespeare. This is artistic director Michael Unger explaining a rockin' Midsummer Night's Dream.
85% of the text is Shakespeare's directly. The other 15% is very close. It just changed for comic effect. It is Shakespeare's perhaps funniest play, set to a lovely score that is super funny. So if you love Shakespeare, you will love this musical. If you fear Shakespeare, this musical will change your mind.
So let's have some fun. I think you will enjoy this show. And it runs April 10th through the 26th at Skylight Music Theater. So just a couple weeks away. But April 15th is the night that I'm inviting you to join me. It's a Max experience. So what we're going to do is get there, Skylight Bar, like 6:30, hang out, chat over some beverages, and then the performance is at 7:30. And artistic director Michael Unger, who you just heard there, is going to do a pre-show talk. And what you may not realize is that he is the creator of this musical, and it comes from a really profound story and experience that he had. He lived in Newtown, Connecticut, when the Sandy Hook Elementary School tragedy happened. And that community did turn to theater as a way to get together and to heal and to laugh. And so this is a really significant piece of work in Michael Unger's body of work, and he really, really wanted to share it with Wisconsin. So this is going to be the Wisconsin premiere at Skylight Music Theater. So April 15th is the night to come hang out with me for some pre-show drinks, the artistic talk with Michael Unger, and I think they've convinced me that I will have a walk-on role somehow, some way in the midst of A Rockin' Midsummer Night's Dream. Maybe I can ask for a guitar. I don't know, but I will find out what my walk-on role is and share that with you. But let's have some fun. And here's how you join me for this Max experience. April 15th at skylightmusictheater.org. And there's a promo code, Sandy15, for 15% off. April 15th, Sandy15, 15% off. See this, the theme there? And my name is like the beach, Sandy, Sandy15. And actually, if you text Sandy15 to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, text Sandy15 to 855-616-1620. We'll get you the link right there. It's one tap. The code will already be in there. We'll make it even easier for you. But this is one of those like, hey, I've heard good things about Skylight Music Theater. Hey, it would just be fun to get out and about. This is your excuse to come join me and have a good time. And if you're one of those arms crossed and folded thinking, yeah, Shakespeare's not for me, try it out. Why not? Let's have some fun. And if you are way into musicals, this is going to be a unique and fun experience. A rockin' Midsummer Night's Dream. Circle your calendar for April 15th. That's also when taxes are due, so get those taxes filed and celebrate. Celebrate that accomplishment and enjoy live theater with me. And also, if you haven't been inside the Cabot Theater at Skylight Music Theater, it's beautiful. It's lots of wood, and that's another one of those spaces where you look up and on the ceiling, oh, look, there's paintings up there. So it's a really great space in the historic Third Ward to get together with the creative community. So Sandy15 is the word to text to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620, and that's just the code to have handy when you want to take part. And join me for a Max experience with Skylight Music Theater, a rockin' Midsummer Night's Dream, modern rock and roll twist on one of Shakespeare's absolutely classic stories. Hope to be hanging out with you there and taking in live theater. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I look forward to meeting you back here tomorrow night starting at 6 for all the fun and all the stories from the Milwaukee Brewers home opener and some other surprises on What's on Tap tomorrow. Have a great night. Thanks for joining me on What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
Just like the Milwaukee Bucks, Coakley Brothers has developed into a world-class national player. We